P.J. Joseph to come onto the dais. I would now request Mr. Sushoban Sarkar, Principal NIA Pune, to come onto the dais, please. I would now request Mr. R. Chandrasekharan to come to the dais, please. May I request Mr. V. Manikam to come to the dais, please. I would now request Mr. P. Venugopal to come to the dais, please. Thank you, sirs. As you're all aware, the insurance awareness is an important life skill for the holistic development of an individual and is considered to be a prerequisite for insurance inclusion. The National Strategy for Financial Education of the Government of India mandates active involvement of all stakeholders of financial sector, including insurance companies, in financial literacy and financial inclusion. Insurance education is an integral part of financial education, and it requires the consolidated efforts of all stakeholders. IRDA had mandated all insurers to formulate a board-approved insurance awareness policy of the respective companies, incorporating the annual action plan for insurance literacy and insurance awareness programs of the insurers. The insurers are taking number of activities in compliance with their board-approved insurance awareness policy, and the two industry councils are monitoring its implementation. The Insurance Institute of India and the National Insurance Academy are the two educational institutions who are forming part of this initiative. Taking forward this endeavor, we have a panel discussion today on the best insurance awareness policies. And as I just read out, the discussions are Mr. Manikam, Secretary General of the Life Insurance Council, Mr. Chandrasekharan, Secretary General of the General Insurance Council, Mr. P. Venugopal, Secretary General of the Insurance Institute of India, and Mr. Sushoban Sarkar, Director of National Insurance Academy. The panel would be chaired by Mr. P.J. Joseph, who is member non-life with the Insurance IRDA. A brief about the achievements and accomplishment of each of the panelists. I begin with Mr. P.J. Joseph. Mr. Joseph has taken charge as member non-life on 28th March 2016 in IRDA. Mr. Joseph is a graduate in business management and joined the General Insurance Corporation of India, which was a holding company of the 4 public sector general insurance companies, in the year 1979. After the initial training, his services were transferred to the Mumbai-based general insurer, the New India Assurance Company Limited. Mr. Joseph has worked for 29 years with New India and held many executive and leadership positions in India and abroad. The last position held being that of Managing Director of the New India Assurance Company, Trinidad and Tobago Limited, West Indies. Mr. Joseph held the position of General Manager in Chennai-based United India Health Insurance Company Limited from February 2009 to October 2012, where he was responsible for the health and information technology portfolios. After that, Mr. Joseph was appointed as the CMD of Agriculture Insurance Company Limited in October 2012 and has steered the company during the period of transition in the Indian crop insurance setup, from an administered price regime to an actuarial pricing regime. We welcome Mr. Joseph for the panel discussion. Mr. Sushoban Sarkar assumed charge as Director, National Insurance Academy, Pune, with effect from 29 September 2014. Mr. Sarkar had a distinguished career spanning over 36 years with Life Insurance Corporation of India and superannuated from the position of Managing Director of LIC on 31st May 2014. As Managing Director, his areas of responsibility included product development and marketing, customer relationship management, personal and HRD, corporate planning and organizational development, corporate communications, investments and international operations. Prior to his taking charge as Managing Director, he had held key leadership positions as Head of International Operations and Investment Department of LIC. He was the director and CEO of LIC Mutual Fund Asset Management Company Limited as well. Born on 29th May 1954, Mr. Sarkar is an honors graduate in physics and has a degree of Masters of Financial Management from the Jamnalal Institute of Management Studies, University of Mumbai. He has a rich experience of board governance, having been not only on the board of LIC and its associate and subsidiary companies, but also served on the boards of other assisted companies as nominee director of LIC. At present, he is on the board of 3 well-known companies. Mr. Sarkar is an avid reader and loves Indian classical music. He is fluent in Hindi, Marathi, and Bengali as well as English. A warm welcome to Mr. Sarkar. Mr. R. Chandrasekharan, Secretary General, General Insurance Council. Mr. Chandrasekharan started his career as a banker in 1974 and early in his career switched over to the general insurance industry when he joined GIC Re as a junior officer in 1978. In GIC Re, he rose to hold the post of general manager between 2005 and 2008. A versatile personality, Shri Chandrasekharan has handled almost all departments in GIC and has been instrumental in many far-reaching decisions in the corporation. After GIC, he was DGM in charge of technical operations, marketing, and information technology in Kuwait Reinsurance Company, Kuwait. He is currently the Secretary General of the General Insurance Council since 16 November 2011. In his capacity, he is taking up priority industry issues with the regulator and government authorities for resolution. Shri Chandrasekharan has several academic and professional qualifications under his belt, and these include Advanced Accountancy and Cost Accounts, PGDM from Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management Studies, Fellow of Insurance Institute of India, Associate Member of Institute of Risk Management, MIRM, London, Associate of Chartered Insurance Institute, London, and Certified Associate of Indian Institute of Bankers, Mumbai, and a certificate in computer software. I welcome Mr. Chandrasekharan to this panel discussion. Mr. Manikam is a chartered accountant by qualification and has taken charge as Secretary General of Life Insurance Council on 31st August 2012. After his retirement from services of Life Insurance Corporation of India, he has put in more than 29 years of service in Life Insurance Corporation of India in various capacities, notable being Managing Director and CEO of LIC Pension Fund, Mumbai, Executive Director, Investment Monitoring and Accounting, Central Office, Mumbai, Additional Executive Director, Investments, Chief Investment, Secretary Investments. He started his career in Life Insurance Corporation of India in Nagpur in 1983, and prior to that he practiced as a chartered accountant in Chennai before joining LIC of India. While in LIC of India, he represented the organization on the boards of IDBI Trusteeship Service Company, Tidal Park Limited, EID Perry India Limited, and the India Cements Limited. He was in various committees set up by IRDA, PFRDA, and ICAI. Presently, he is independent director on the board of EID Perry Limited, India Cements Limited, ICL Financial Services Limited, Trinetra Cements Limited, Coromandel Infotech India Limited, Trishul Concrete Products Limited, and additional director with BFSI SSE. He is representing the council in various committees, subgroups set up by the Ministry of Finance and IRDAI. A warm welcome to Mr. Manikam. Mr. P. Venugopal was born on 10th October 1959 and is a graduate of BSc Botany. He joined Life Insurance Corporation of India in December 1984 as a direct recruit officer and held various positions in the corporation. Mr. Venugopal joined Insurance Institute of India on 28 April 2014 as Secretary General on deputation from LIC. Before joining Insurance Institute of India, he was Principal LIC of India Zonal Training Center at Bhopal. A warm welcome to you, Mr. Venugopal. Now I would request upon the IRDA officials to come and greet our panelists. Beginning, we'll have a small bouquet to be presented to Mr. Joseph. A warm welcome to Mr. Manikam. And a warm welcome to Mr. Venugopal as well. With this brief introduction, I hand over the proceedings to Mr. P.J. Joseph. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon to all of you. All of us agree that the penetration of insurance is low. We all agree that the awareness levels are low. Well, there have been a lot of policy decisions that have been taken at various levels. The implementation of those at the grassroots at the level has not been impressive, because had it been impressive, then the growth of insurance would have been much higher than what it is today. One can argue that the penetration is low because of the fact that a lot of people are poor, they do not have disposable income to. Not entirely correct, because we've seen that in even urban centers where people have disposable income, the level of insurance penetration is low. Whether they are not insured at all, or they are heavily underinsured, and they are caught on the wrong foot when a catastrophe occurs. So the format is that I would be requesting each of the panelists to discuss one aspect of this issue, and then at the end of the panel discussion, we'll keep it open for the audience to raise their questions for about 10 minutes. Mr. Sarkar is with National Insurance Academy and is in the field of insurance education. So I would like to ask you, how do you, or which is the best means of reaching the consumer? What kind of education, policies that should be put in place and implemented so that the consumer is able to comprehend the need for insurance and the kind of options that they have?
Yeah, I think first of all, as you mentioned, the need for insurance. Somehow, the educating the customer about the need for insurance itself is the most difficult thing. Products come much later, because for whatever reason, people like Yudhishthir said, to the Yaksha in Mahabharata, when he was asked what is the most strange or surprising thing in this world, then Yudhishthir replied that every moment people are dying, yet they think that they are all immortal. So that is the problem or the challenge, particularly, of course, I am speaking from a life insurance angle. But even with regard to the general insurance, non-life insurance, we all try to be very prudent and try to exclude paying premium for the risk which we think that will not happen. Like in motor, we would like to do only third party and not insure the full vehicle. And as Mr. Chandrasekharan was just now saying, in the Chennai floods, all the shops which were affected by the floods had taken an insurance policy but excluded the flood. So this is the whole challenge for the insurer, how to educate the customer and the public about the need for insurance. Now, we have these several methods of insurance, like Mr. Jagpal mentioned about the National Financial Education Program of the Government of India. And there is no one method or one vehicle through which to educate people. And when we are talking in terms of educating people, we are not talking in terms of educating a limited number of people through classrooms or workshops, but how to educate a very large number of people at the same time and over a period of time. So I think we need to choose a multiple medium for educating the people, and simple things are in the print medium, but print medium is becoming totally obsolete for the
start and people are made aware of it. Possibly they will be better able to assimilate when some insurance agent approaches them to understand the product better. But then, from what I gather from hearing all the four panelists is that there is no a single approach that will work. You need to have a multi-pronged or segment-wise approach to reach out to the consumer. The economic, the weaker sections, you need to have a different strategy. In the urban centers, you need to have another set of strategy. Which media to use? Is television the right media? You're talking of the social media for a particular segment of the consumers. So all these strategies have to be used. But I have not seen any campaign which is really eye-catching campaign which is able to cut across to various sections of the consumers to make them understand what insurance is all about. Maybe it is time that all of us got together and started a campaign of that kind, which will make people aware the basic concepts of insurance and also the benefits of insurance eventually. We have some more time. Randeep, how much time we have? 5 minutes. Shall we open it to the, since we are running short of time, do you like to add something?
Yeah, I'll add something. At this point of time, I believe that the insurance companies need to come forward to have their own board-approved policies to create awareness among the citizens about insurance. Because Mr. Manikam talked about low insurance penetration, and of course we have a low insurance density in the country compared to the international standards. Although the insurance companies need to think about their bottom line too, but then they have to take the initiative to adopt certain districts or areas where they can create this awareness among the people. The educational institutions, the III or NIA can do the education part, but then the real part need to be taken by the insurance companies to reach the rural areas. And Mr. Manikam just reeled out statistics about many districts not represented by any insurance company, or for even if probably even the satellite offices or the representative officers. The CSCs also probably may not be there from the what Mr. Manikam said. But everything, it depends upon the insurance companies. We have about 54 insurance companies here. They need to adopt, just like they did it in Tripura last 1 year, 6 districts. Each insurance companies had adopted one district to carry forward whatever is the mandate given in that inaugural session there in Agartala. So this is what needs to come. Of course, regulator on your part will also come out with certain specification, but up to the insurance companies to come out. Of course, they need to take care of their bottom line as well as their top line too.
Thank you. Is there anything that you'd like to add? Yeah.
See, the banks, they have got with financial literacy centers. The RBI has given the material and things like that. Each bank has got certain 250 square feet area and things like that. So when we try to do insurance also there, they said you can only give only the material, you cannot put your person to educate the people there. So I think idea is being floated in IRDA, and the Insurance Institute and the councils have been talking of creating insurance learning centers, literacy centers, with the help of the retired or people who have passed the fellowship of the Insurance Institute of examinations in various rural, semi-urban locations. And perhaps, of course, some deferment costs and things like that can be done. But people who are passionate about telling about insurance in their own local area can be given some sort of a boost. And that's where we are compiling the list of people who are available. And we will, from the industry, look at the locations where we want to do it. And both insurance industry and the Insurance Institute of India resource persons can create an insurance learning or literacy centers across the country. This could be one joint effort from the educational institution and the industry. It will go a long way.
Okay, thank you.
About the insurance awareness, one of the very important thing to keep in mind is the buyer's behavior. Our product is complex, no doubt, but the customer or the potential buyer does not have time, or even if he or she has time, she is not mentally prepared to give us much time. So we have to catch their attention in the fraction of the time. And most people would really ask will say that, okay, tell me what are the features, but within a very short time they will lose interest and then say, ultimately thinking that this is like any other financial product, they will ask about the return. And our product, whether it is non-life or life, basically whatever is returned, I will not say the return, financial return, whatever is returned depends on some contingencies. And there are some exclusions. So within that short time, how to, number one, get his or her interest, and also how to, if at the point of actual sale, first of all, to bring them to the table for sale, we have to create interest within a fraction of a time. And having brought on the table, again within a fraction of the time, how to educate them about the exclusions and the contingencies upon which this payment is dependent. That's a big challenge. And one example you can see, like so many times if you want to buy any internet product, particularly any software product, in small print vertically it will be at least 100 lines of terms and condition, and in the bottom you have to check I agree. Now if you are basically, once you are prepared to buy, you simply check I agree, and fortunately for the software industry there is no, basically those are all mass products like antivirus, this, that, so many things. So there are not much of disenchantment because it's not based upon any contingency, whereas our insurance, again the proposal forms are long, exclusions are long, finally person signs, but if the claim is there, then all those exclusion conditions kick in, and therefore obviously there is a great deal of dissatisfaction. And all over the world there are surveys after surveys which shows that more so in the case of non-life. Now you may have a very good impression about a company A or a B, but once having made a claim, the impression about the company goes down drastically. All over the world, across the world, this is the same experience with people. Those who have made a claim with an insurance company have a less better opinion about the company than those who have not made the claim. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sarkar. We'll leave it open to
I will
the
tell
audience.
you,
You would like to say something? Yeah.
according to me, any theoretical aspects envisaged by any government or regulator can have only compliance aspects, can serve only compliance, but do not have those exercises to reach to the common person. There should be incentive, be it in a house or elsewhere. Even in the house, if you give some incentive to children or wife, the things are better there. The same logic should be applied for the industry. Then only there is a true meaning of development authority will be coming into place. This is my submission. Unless until we give some kind of incentive to the industry players and or the marketing people, this awareness will not give any expected benefit. The declining trend will continue to be declining, and the population is increasing, insurable population also increasing, and we will not be rendering our service as a authority, as an insurance company or an insurance marketing person. We cannot render effective service to the common person, and we may be at the end of the day may be obtaining their curse. So it is high time that we should come out with some practical, approachable, easily workable and easily reachable method for which Life Insurance Council along the industry, and I am taking liberty, General Insurance Council and the industry will join together hands on hands with the regulator and come out with a concerted effort to see that at least next year when we celebrate the 19th April program, there should be improvement in the ratio, GDP ratio of awareness or the penetration or density. That is my submission.
Thank you, thank you. I think this is something which we need to address separately, not in this forum at this point in time. We will leave it open to the audience. Please introduce yourself and also tell to which of the panelists you're addressing your question, so that we can respond to you properly if there are any questions.
Myself, Ajay Tripathi from Sri Ram Insurance. Just getting to sir questions. Beside we have a subject on see that IT is sharing a subject in education from school level itself. The result is that when radio took 38 years to reach 5 million people, but WhatsApp has done it just in 5 days to reach 5 million people. It's happened due to the IT is educating in school level. I think so. Just this is my question. Because in last decades, there is various initiative, prudent initiative of IRDA, still our penetration is 3.3% India. That is far behind of world average. So can we start from school level?
Let's just start from the school level, especially the children who are going to the colleges. They need to be made aware of what insurance is all about, so that either they can influence their parents to take insurance, the householders insurance or the vehicle insurance. Today, I think the statistics speaks that the vehicle insurance drops about 70% in the third year or so. I think the first year, all vehicles are insured because of mandatory regulation, mandatory condition. Subsequently, they are not renewed. So this awareness is awareness can be created at the school level. The children can influence the parents. Similarly, at the college level, if you have this insurance awareness, probably they may be, besides being aware of insurance, they can get into the insurance field also.
I just want to add only one point from the IT and the technology point of view. Yes, definitely the technology has become very useful. Even now I've got notes here, I've got downloads here and things like that. Facebook and Twitter and things like that, the social media is there. They act two ways. They are cutting knife. You can cut both sides. You can spread and increase the awareness. You can also spread bad publicity as well. So the point to be taken is how to reach them through these medias and technologies and educate them is one. And at the same time, how are we going to convey the correct perception, a correct message about the insurance? So we have to do a lot in this area, I do agree. But I do also concede the point, because of IT only, the level of awareness. If you want a cinema ticket, you use a mobile application and buy. Are we buying an insurance using an application that is available here? It's not there. Therefore, the difference between that IT application for a normal day-to-day life and the insurance is, the need is, maybe they know, but they don't feel the need. They think I will not die. They think I will not get hit. So that attitudinal change will come only through the system of educating them in the schools through various methods of communication.
Can I say something?
Yeah, he's talking about fraudulent claim. Okay. To avoid frauds.
It will help the restrict the fraudulent claim,
Yeah,
and the road accident also, sir.
Sir,
Because if you educate the road safety measures, what type of road safety measure will be taken in the school level, they will take care of all the things while they ride the bike or car and etc.
See, the one point I'd like to add, yes, we have tried some small applications whereby on the overseas travel, the fraudulent activities rising out of overseas travel policies have been stopped, because we used technology to ensure visa granting authorities to verify the genuineness of the policy. Definitely, technology will help avoid fraud. At the same time, we cannot use insurance as a mechanism to force implementation of law. For example, if you have to wear a helmet, whether you have insurance or not, you are supposed to wear a helmet, otherwise you will get hit and get killed. If they say PUC is not there, don't give insurance. If tinted glass is not there, is put, don't give insurance. So insurance cannot be used as a method to